Charles here locally in the community. Make sure y'all go check out Meat Cat Bodies by Jeremy Smokin.
All right, good morning and welcome to Lions Talk with Smokin Jeremy B and Von Doom Lenner. How's everybody doing today? Got a
As
few.
per my name, you could see.
We got a few fans that are. We got Henry saying good morning, pride. Fred Peter, well, good morning. It's a great day to be alive. And Dwayne King, go Detroit Lions, one pride, Kings of the North Championship. Yes, sir. All of that reigns true. I wanted to talk a little bit about the background of our D-line coach and run game coordinator that we just picked up from the Titans squad who's coaching at the All-American Bowl. He has been a defensive line coach. Wow. Since 1998. He's married. He has two sons. His youngest son died at the age of 4 in 2000, and he never took any time off. He buried himself in his work. Shows a little dedication. Also shows that well, he's one of those dog types, and he also is in the middle of his tenures at the Miami Dolphins. He was hired by Philbin. And what's funny? Oh, I'm breaking up. All right, give me just a minute. I'm gonna have to do some Wi-Fi stuff. Uh,
Well, Jeremy will be back. Usually it's me that's got the Wi-Fi issue, but I think I got most of that figured out last night. Only took a couple hours on the phone with Comcast to get them to get their asses out here to fix the shit at the telephone pole. Hope everybody's having a good morning tonight. No, today, not tonight.
is that any better?
So far,
Good. Okay. Anyways, while he was with Joe Philbin in 2015, they picked up somebody, Cameron Wake and Ndamukong Suh. And in that year, they both had 15 and a half sacks, which was the most of Suh's career and definitely the most of Wake's. Uh, Tennessee Titans, he went there in 2018. But the fact that he was there and helped Suh become a better lineman by not being a penalty magnet like he was with the Lions, that's a huge, huge thing to have. And now he's a run game coordinator. And everybody says, why is a D line coach going to make a good run game coordinator? Who better than to scheme somebody to run through a D line than somebody coaches a D line? I mean, it is something to think about there. But who's going to know how to stop the run better, and who's going to know how to have the running backs run through it easier? The guy that's stopping them or the guy that runs them? I think it's a catch-22. Scotty Montgomery wasn't bad, but in all actuality, we had more yards the year before with Deuce. Fred Peterson, I love you. No,
Actually, one thing, man, I have fiber optic lines outside here.
he's in the sticks, but he's close enough to the city. He can still have fiber optic cable and get his 100 meg service.
I fixed that shit last night. I got my 1.2 gigs back.
Good for you.
I know, ain't that sexy? Because it's sexy and you know it.
Adder's House 710. What's up, fellas? Good morning from LA. You are up awfully early. After the season's finally over, when the Super Bowl is done, we are going to move to the 11 o'clock hour. That way it's a little easier on the West Coast guys. They only got to get up at 8, not at 7 a.m. to see us. And Russell Wayne's show will be moving to the 3 p.m. hour. We think we're going to stick with Lions Talk with Smokin, Jeremy B, and Von Doom. I'll explain later, Lenner. Don't give me the dirty looks.
I didn't give you a dirty look.
That's awesome. I live similar here in Michigan. Can shoot my guns in my backyard and still 10 minutes away from a decent sized town.
No. I'm a half hour from a decent sized town. But
Well,
I'm in a pipeline. They have to come through here. Where I'm at is between two mountains. So to get the stuff to the other cities, it has to run right through here, through the valley.
You're awful. How do you feel about Glenn coming back? I'm good with it. I've been saying this D needs way more talent at key positions. Well, that's actually the next subject I wanted to talk about because it's a touchy subject with a lot of people. But in all actuality, the stats back up everything I said. In Detroit Lions last year per quarter, and their league rankings on what they average scored and scored against on offense. Second in the league, 7.1 points per quarter. Second quarter, it goes up, but so does everybody else. 8.2, seventh in the league. I'm going to jump to the next good quarter. Fourth quarter, 8 points per quarter, good for third in the league. Third quarter, 4.2 points scored. This is offensive, guys. That's 20th in the league. Now, let me tell you 3 teams that scored more than us in the third quarter. The Giants, the Jets, and the Commanders. Oh, wait, it gets better, Hatter's House. Wait till you hear the defensive rankings. First quarter, we only allowed 4.2 points per quarter. That's good for 17th in the league. Sounds great, right? Guess who had a better one? The Jets. I'm saying, teams that make the playoff that beat you out in any quarter, that's not a good sign. Scoring against in the second quarter. Say what?
Are you talking had a better defense? Because you're saying the Jets, yes, the Jets had a better defense. They have a more talented defense too.
I understand, but it's not good when they don't make the playoffs that somebody that doesn't make a playoffs ranks better than your team. That's all I'm getting at. Second quarter, 6 points per quarter. 9th in the league. Great, because guess what? Everybody above them was in the playoffs. I'm good with it. Fourth quarter, 21st in the league. The Bengals defense did better. The Titans defense did better. My ears are hurting. Stop, Jeremy, stop. Third quarter, 6.9 points per quarter. You know what that was good for? We're the worst in the fucking league. So we're 20th in offense, and we're 32nd on defense in scoring for and against. It backs up everything on why I wanted to start over. I didn't want to fire anybody. I'm saying I wanted them to go on to bigger and better things, get the compensatory picks, and start with someone new. That's all I'm saying. The second half adjustments coming out of halftime for this team is absolutely abysmal. Why change what works in the first half if they haven't stopped it until they do on offense? And why change anything on defense if they're not beating you all game in the first half? That is where I'm at.
I'll agree with you, man. Man, it's kind of like a dead horse, though. Like, it makes no damn sense why they come out so flaccid in the second half to begin with.
I mean, Joe Flacid came out harder without Viagra his first game for the Browns than this defense and offense did all year.
You know, like defensively, the only thing that really bothers me about the defense in Aaron Glenn probably shouldn't be the thing that bothers me. I hate the fact that you were a fucking defensive back, an all-pro defensive back, and you can't develop a goddamn cornerback. How the hell can you not do that?
I know. Does anybody remember Peyton Manning's comments on halftime adjustments from last season? Yep. A lot of teams make them and go away from what was working.
I'm trying to find his comments.
It may be hard to argue against Ken Fisher, but that has been my argument all year. That the third quarter, if it wasn't for how good we were the other three quarters, the third quarter should have killed us a lot more times than it did. Right. How do you run for 148 yards in the first half? Jay Andrews, but you know what? He's absolutely wrong because there's a halftime adjustment for every team, and they just seem to go away from whatever's working in the first half. I'm just
100%. There's definitely a halftime adjustment that was made. Even if you went 3 and out on your first two series, trying to run the ball in the third quarter, guess what? Keep freaking doing it because eventually it's gonna work. They didn't have the points up there yet. There's no point to try to play scared not to lose the game. Control the time of possession.
the fact that Peyton Manning hasn't had kids yet, so maybe he's the fallacy. I'm sorry. I'm a little salty this morning, guys.
I got
yelled at. I got yelled at by people on my page that I was stupid, a fucking idiot, and an asshole because I said I was mentally prepared to move on. I didn't say anything about firing our coordinators. I was saying I was ready mentally if they took a job somewhere else to look for someone. It's been the third quarter has been our Achilles heel ever since the beginning of the 2022-2023 season, Troy Bollinger. It's been 2 consecutive seasons and it hasn't changed. And that's why we've had better talent on both sides of the ball both years. The only thing that has not changed is who's calling the plays on offense, on defense. It's been abysmal. We actually got worse in both statistics each year. Last year, we averaged scoring 5.3 points, and it still was 20. It was actually 18th last year in the third quarter. Lions rumble. That's right. Thank God it's Friday. We made it through another week. The Pro Bowl's going. So far, the best thing I've seen has been the clip of Laporta in that punt machine catching drill. One-handed catching 5 fucking footballs. But we can't look at the link while we're live. But last year we scored over 5. This year we're just barely over 4.
Hang on. The groundhog didn't see a shadow today, early spring. No, it's called fake spring in pneumonia season because dumbasses ain't gonna put on a coating and go outside.
Right.
Me, I'm dumbasses.
Hey, guess what? I went outside. It's cloudy. I didn't see my shadow. I wasn't scared. His calves are the size of my arms. He used the word myth, but it's wrong. In Lions Rumble, which is Lorenzo, who's been on the show, says, "Welcome back, Doom. Hope all is well."
All's good, man.
One day he disappeared because he forgot to plug his phone in, or yanked the block out of the wall, whatever. The other day he had an interview, so that's legit. I hope you get the job, but then again, I hope you don't. I hope you get the job because you need the money. I hope you don't because I need you here.
We'll be going mobile.
Because of the lack of a field goal kicker, do you think that hurt our scoring opportunities in the third quarter? At times, yes, but most of the time, we never were in the position to get that good field goal percentage. How many times did we take a penalty to move back to punt the ball? How many times did we actually punt and miss? Oh, yeah. It's always about get that paper. I just like giving them shit because I can.
Mm-hmm. My whole view on the kicker situation.
I'm gonna look up that turnovers that situation. I say we draft a kicker in the late rounds.
I say there's some decent free agents you could get, maybe cheap, who knows. But my whole view on it this year was, if you're not going to use them, shit, why have them on the roster? You could have another roster spot for a player.
Okay.
Ricky, how do you say that? Coyote? Coyote?
Coyote Awasika.
That Ricky guy over there in the chat.
Oh, Ricky Chicote. Goff
Yes,
needs an extension. I'm so sick of hearing the narrative that we need to search for him. Goff has been excellent. But you know what? I'm going to say one thing, Rick. Chicote.
Okay. That's easier.
Yep. But anyways, the two kickers I like in the draft coming up is Harold Mevis and Josh Carte. Josh Carte of K-State and Harold Mevis both have hit 61 yarders in college outdoors. Both are over 60% from over 50. Both are 92% and over under 50 yards. Well, according to this, we had a total of 4 turnovers in the third quarter of ourselves, and we got 1 back. So that's a -3 turnover ratio. But guess what? The 3 turnovers we had in the third quarter were only in 1 game we lost. That was Chicago. Hey, Macarena. God.
So hard to judge a kicker. Oh, that's why I don't like drafting kickers. I say Get somebody that's proven. There's a bunch of them out there this year. Kaimi Fairbairn, Nick Folk, Brandon McManus, potentially Jake Elliott.
Brandon McManus will probably be re-signed. He had a good year for the Pampers or Jaguars or whoever we went to. A lot of us wanted Jake Moody, but I wasn't willing to give up a pre-100 pick for him. Good job, 49ers.
You can say that as sarcastically as you want, but you know what he did, right?
I know. He was one of two. He was one of two.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? Our kicker was one of one. So that's a wash.
We're going to leave it like that because I don't want to get Jeremy all riled up this morning.
Yeah, we traded up to 96 to get Broderick Martin, who evidently AG likes about as much as Tracy Walker and Isaiah Buggs because he refuses to play his rookie ass. And at 99, with their first pick in the 2023 draft, the first person the San Francisco 49ers pick is Jake Moody out of Michigan.
You can't even say it's a bad pick because they needed him. And he's not a bad kicker.
He's not horrible, but he was not what we saw at Michigan at all. And I said he wouldn't be. I said it'll take him a couple years to get to that type of mentality in the NFL. And everybody's like, oh, no, he's the best kicker coming out of college, blah, 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 blah. The UDFA that I can't remember who grabbed him. And he came out of one of the Division II schools, had a better year statistically than Jake Moody. He just played on a team so shitty that their offense couldn't get him to the playoffs.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Yeah, that's exactly how the Cowboys got Brandon Audrey.
Yeah, was out of the USFL or XFL or whatever. Got him from the championship team, right? Hey, I love our Wolverines. Fuck Jim Harbaugh for leaving. And that's all I got to say. But everybody's saying, have fun sanctioning Jim Harbaugh now. You forget that when all this came up about Harbaugh, Roger Goodell says if the NCAA gives him a year suspension, they're going to honor it.
Roger Goodell is a fucking liar, and we all know that.
That's okay. I hope it happens because that would be funny as hell. The Chargers will charge her out of another playoff season. Come on. Tell me it isn't funny. Just a little bit.
Yes and no, man. The whole charging out, yes, that's funny. The whole fact that the NCAA can fucking impose punishments and shit itself, now that they allowed NIL, is a fucking joke.
And you notice how everybody's going to 3 conferences now, maybe 4. There's actually, it's a Power 4 conference league now. It is no longer a Power 5. The Pac-12 went from the Pac-12 to the 2-pack. And that's not a shot at Mr. Shakur. I think they're going to remove themselves from the NCAA. I think that they try to impose sanctions onto Harbaugh in the NFL, they're going to get pissed. Say hi to Penny, everybody. This is Miss Penny. She loves me. I don't know why.
Dogs love everybody, man, for the most part.
Thank you, Ricky Sakat. Got it right. Hey, Macarena. Do they strip Michigan of their national championship title? No, because there's no signs. There's no actual proof that they did any sign stealing this year. Sarah says Miss Penny is too good, cute, and main event. Mike, one pride. Um, yeah, those offensive and defensive stats, it sucks. But you know what? I just wanted to put it out there and prove my point. But yeah, turnovers in the third quarter was three given to one taken, or no, 4 given to 1 taken. But only one game did we have a turnover in the third quarter that cost us a game. So I don't think the turnovers was a big part of the third quarter. Oh, I already heard Stallions is going to be the linebacker coach for the Chargers defense. And his first job is to go to Kansas City for the offseason.
Yeah, but that's not to steal signs. That's to steal Patrick Mahomes' lucky underwear.
Yeah, but I think another quarterback already stole that, and he's just been unlucky with the rest of the team, so they need to steal everybody else's. Dak Prescott.
Well, that's just because he's sniffing them.
I know. And if you look at the playoff records, I'm going to say something right now that a lot of people are going to hate, but it's true. Lamar Romo equals Dak Cousins equals Kirk Prescott equals Tony Jackson. Great regular season records. Meh playoff production.
Do any of us care about the Super Bowl now that we're out? I don't want San Francisco or KC to win. I wouldn't personally like San Francisco to win just because I hate Patrick Mahomes.
And I don't want to see Taylor Swift come down on the field.
The NFL wants to see Taylor Swift on the field because it just keeps their views up. They're smart. What they did is very smart. They know how much money she brought in, how many new fans she brought to the game. It's great marketing.
Ken Fisher, what I'm saying is I looked it up by quarter. Third quarter, we had 4 turnovers given. We gave it away 4 times and got 1. Lamar took his team to a championship game, though. So, yeah, it's true. But so far, he still has more losses than wins in playoffs. And I'm not watching the Super Bowl.
Okay, whoa. The baddest billionaire on the planet. Kylie Jenner is way hotter than fucking Taylor Swift. I'm sorry.
Sarah has Kirk, Lamar, Tony, or Dak played in a Super Bowl. Period. The answer is no. None of them's even made it to the NFC Championship game.
Romo, Romo will be the first one of all of them to make it to a Super Bowl, but he's going to be announcing it.
Right.
Did Goff win a Super Bowl? No, Goff did not win a Super Bowl.
It wasn't his
Goff
fault.
didn't belong. They didn't belong in that game, honestly.
The ref gave him the shot in that game, but Brandon Cooks dropping 2 touchdown passes. Josh Reynolds dropped a touchdown pass. Grady Everett, I think his name is, the tight end that was there, or Gerald Everett. Gerald Everett. He dropped a touchdown pass. If you haven't played in one, you don't need to be mentioned in the same caliber as Jared Goff. And he has a winning record in the playoffs versus those guys.
Yes. Ricky, he is.
Yes, Ricky Scott. He is enacting his contract, which start next year. He gets his $39 million a year to talk football as an announcer.
Man, how are you going to say Brady's the true GOAT? I'm pretty sure my guy Eli Manning made him look like a little puppy dog bitch in 2 Super Bowls.
Hey, wait. But Eli Manning only got to 2 Super Bowls.
Hey, Michael Jordan status. He won them. He got there and won. He didn't lose.
That's true. Oh, it wasn't all on Goff. Goff had a great game. If you look at how many wide receivers dropped passes, and Eli 2, Brady 500 Super Bowls, big difference. That's where I'm at too. I know, but you know what? Hey,
Look at percentages though.
I got something for you because of where they were drafted and the fact that he's playing in his first Super Bowl. I think Purdy is closer to Brady than Mahomes.
Yeah, assistant quarterback that fell into the perfect position.
Right. But you know what? Brady at least did prove it was more the quarterback than the coach. Just saying. He went to another team that nobody thought had a shot. And then everybody says, well, they might make the playoffs, but I don't think they'll make a Super Bowl. Boom, they're in the Super Bowl and win it.
Yeah, but you looked at that roster. It was just because they didn't have a quarterback. They had everything else. They had a team.
But wait, who did he face off in that Super Bowl? Who did not score a touchdown?
I don't remember off the top of my head, honestly.
The Chiefs and Mahomes. Lions Rumble said our receivers had more drops than Visine.
Ooh. Okay, Steve Spaghetti. I like that. Steve Spagnuolo. He's a good defensive coordinator, and that's all he'll ever be. He's a good defensive coordinator. He's a horrible head coach. He doesn't know that part of the game. But as a defensive coordinator, he's great. He knows blitz packages. He knows coverage. He makes fucking chicken shit into chicken salad. But Andy Reid is probably the greatest offensive mind in football history. You can't say it otherwise.
And Ken Fisher, I absolutely agree with this statement. CJ Gardner doesn't deserve to come back as a safety, especially after that personal agenda with Devo.
Debbie.
And that interception that Rodriguez made. Typical thug in my eyes. Yeah. I mean, if he'd have stayed villain squad mode, talk shit, did a clean push on him or something like that, he blindside hit him. Blindside hit is how a lot of guys get career-ending injuries.
Oh,
so
and like
I'm against.
I'm against it too, but you know what? If you're going to take that penalty, you know you're going to do something like that. Don't hit him like a bitch either. Exactly.
Worthwhile. Crush his soul. Not just chip him and knock him down and talk over him and do that type of shit. You did that. That's the other. The last play we saw CJ Gardner made before his injury was talking shit because he did the same type of hit to Kenneth Walker and shoved him back to the ground. It's a bitch move.
It is. Dude, let me ask you this honestly, because I keep reading more about this Cam Sutton shit that's been going on with the Twitter exchanges, and now he's getting a little crazy out there, making all sorts of gay slurs and comments at people now.
Well, you know what? But at the same
Can you
time,
keep him?
Those comments from the fans shouldn't have been made in the first place. And he's a reactionary person. I get it. He's very reactionary and flamboyant how he does it. Is he covering up something secret? Is he covering up something secret in his closet with how he's speaking with the gay slurs? It could be. You never know. Maybe CJGJ smokes pole and he'll be like Will Harrison back here next year.
You know what? That could be too. But my whole thing with that is you can't do that shit, man. You're a professional athlete. Man, just turn the goddamn comments off. You would get me to laugh because he's a pole smoking freaking penis breath. Then we're gonna stop. God damn it,
Jamie. Don't go that far.
Motherfucker. But my whole point on it is, as a professional athlete, you can't be on Twitter arguing with these freaking morons. You can't be saying shit like that because you can find that way.
I'm going to defend one thing here on Cam Sutton. Because Sutton is an absolute wash. He was never meant to be the CB1, and he had to be because from the Yes, Sarah. Sarah basically does it. Uh, Sutton is an absolute wash. We need someone who rises to the occasion, not whimper or whine. Sutton was put into a bad position from the beginning. He was not meant to be our CB1. He was meant to be our CB2. We put him on an island against elite wide receivers for what, 14 to 17 games? He had 3 great games against mid talent wide receiver ones, which means he can cover wide receiver twos. The fact that he had to play opposite Jerry Jacobs and Kendall Vildor all season, and the fact he made it through the season healthy is huge. I'm glad we signed him to a 3-year deal. I think he'll be a fine CB2. I say find our CB1 in the draft. Jettison killed Vildor and Jerry Jacobs so far from this roster, they can't sniff the field.
Yep.
And sign one, draft one. That's where I'm at. Sign a true CB1, draft somebody to learn it.
Hey, Lions Rumble. I get it's Friday, man, but read my name, please, sir.
Von Doom. He's blowing
No.
shit up.
No.
Have you had coffee?
No.
Proceed with caution. I hope we don't keep Mosley. Mosley is so fragile. I'm afraid he's going to stub his toe on the way into the practice facility and miss another season. I don't want Mosley back.
Here, I'll tell you exactly what I want you guys to do. Go sign either Dory Jackson or L'Jarius Sneed right off the bat.
There's one more that you can add to that list.
Stephon Gilmore, a veteran corner from Dallas, is going to be a free agent. Draft Kool-Aid McKinstry.
Oh, I'm all about drafting Kool-Aid. I would trade up to get him because you're probably going to have to get up into the top 15 to get him.
I saw a couple mocks last night that have him dropping to the early 20s. But my whole point of all that is why I'm saying get Stephon Gilmore, because he's a cornerback that actually knows a little bit about helping other cornerbacks. Look who he's helped. And I have zero faith in AG's ability to develop a corner.
Oh, I have zero faith in that too. I want to see what Dre Bly does with the secondary in year 2 as the secondary coach. I think that's going to be bigger than what Aaron Glenn has been. Word is Surtain would be part of Denver's package to trade up to 1. I don't want Surtain anywhere near the NFC North. I pray to God they trade up to 2. Miss Benny. There she is. That's my cute little munchkin. Kool-Aid McKinstry, the guy out of Toledo, Quinion Mitchell. I like that kid. He's had a bad practice session at the Senior Bowl, but the guy I really want and has been showing out for Terrell Williams in practice, taking on double teams, pancaking centers, taking on triple teams, and still getting the quarterbacks as a defensive tackle at 6'4" and 362 pounds. Tavondre Sweat out of Texas. That defensive tackle might be playing his way to a first-round grade. And at 29, I would stay there and take him. And then you can take somebody like Mike Sanderstel in the beginning or the middle of the 3rd round later on and have him grow into something because the kid is fast. He is tall. He's long and lanky. He's decent in coverage, but he needs to learn NFL staying on his feet.
Nate Wiggins from Clemson, absolutely. He's another one I could be good at developed properly.
The one that's opposite Kool-Aid starts with a T for the first name. I'm trying to remember his name. He's good too, but all those guys are supposed to be gone before 20, really. You know, Nate Wiggins, Kool-Aid. You're talking about 3 of the top guys. And then the other one, kid out of Washington, right?
Is it Washington?
Or is it the one out of Oregon? I know that there's one of those top ones that I'm not remembering, but it came from the Pac-12. Oh, no, the kid out of Iowa, Cooper DeWan. Those guys are all slated to be top 20 picks. Trenton Arnold, thank you. Or Timon Arnold. If we can move up to draft one of the top 3, we are definitely going defense in the draft. Oh, I don't blame you, Sarah. But you know what? You guys need a quarterback. I don't think you're going to re-sign. Yeah, Cooper DeJuan. I was right. DeJuan, whatever, out of Iowa. I seen a lot of message boards saying we should have took Sauce over Hutchinson. Bullshit. Sauce had a very bad second year statistically as a cornerback, and Hutch had a above average to great year as a defensive end overall.
It's not a fair comparison. Sauce wouldn't have done shit in your defense. And I love Sauce Gardner.
You know, I love Penix as a quarterback in college, but you know what? His injury report is longer than how many teeth I have to remove. And that's saying a lot.
CBS has McKinstry going at 22 to the Eagles, and then Cooper DeJean, the cornerback from Iowa, going at 23. Kamari Lassitier from Georgia?
Yeah, he's decent, but I want to see what happens after the combine. I want to see how fast these guys are, who does good in the drills. I want to see who quits on the drills. Every year, we've had a guy quit mid-drills, especially out of the secondary. And every time, those guys end up washing out of the NFL.
So apparently, Quinn and Mitchell's draft stock is dropping already, though. They got him at UQ at 29.
Who?
Quinn and Mitchell.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's because freaking Wilson made him look like a fool.
If you're drafting somebody in the first round, JJ would be great if you were picking back where the Lions are picking, because then it's like a second round grade and you got the next best quarterback on the list. Drafting JJ McCarthy in the first round, in my opinion, because he needs to be sitting for a couple of years, it makes about as much sense as wiping your butt than taking a crap if you're in the top half of the league for picks. Steve, Detroit should give up their whole draft for Tavondre Sweat, a.k.a. Mike Ditka. No, that's not what I'm saying.
Fuck it, YOLO.
Wasn't there a guy out of Michigan I wasn't saying too bad, Sariski or something like that? You talking about Sandra still we've been talking about? We're not taking JJ at 11. Okay, Sarah. I was just saying, at 11, I think you guys should go probably O-line. Your interior O-line has been hurt both years, which has hampered your quarterback and your running game. I think you need better guard play, especially at the right guard position. The left guard position is pretty good as long as he can stay healthy. That's just my opinion. You can take it or leave it. That's just what I've been seeing.
I think they're going to need another edge rusher to replace Danielle Hunter.
Yeah, they're going to need an edge rusher. But at 11, I don't think you're going to get somebody like Chop or Verse. You know what I'm saying? I think those guys will be gone. They'll be gone in the top 10 unless you trade up. I think Jared Verse is top 5 and Chop is a top 10. Either one of them.
Neither one of them in top 10 in any drafts.
Really?
You got to think, yeah. Like, dude, like this one here. It goes Caleb Williams, Drake May, Jaden Daniels, Marvin Harrison, Byron Murphy, Malik Neighbors, Bashuwanu or whatever out of Penn State. Then Leatu Latu, the edge from UCLA. Dallas Turner from Bama. Brock Bowers at 10. Then it goes to 11. You got Jerzon Newton, and then Bo Nix at 12.
To the Giants?
Fuck no. The Broncos. If the Giants freaking draft Bo Nix, I swear to God, I'm not watching another game until he freaking retires in 2 years from being old as fuck.
Where are you guys picking again?
6.
Oh.
Where's the last time we fucking drafted a bum-ass quarterback in the first round? Oh, yeah, 6.
Yeah. Bo Nix coming at 6. I'm just playing with you. You know I'm playing. You know I'm playing. You know it. You know it.
Hey, I heard Tennessee's got a good offer for Goff. They'll give you guys Malik Willis.
The great thing about Cooper DeJean, because Steve brought him up again, is not only is he a good corner, he's one hell of a punt returner. And if it wasn't for a bullshit penalty, or well, no, they called it a touch. They called for a fair catch. He never called for a fair catch. He was moving his protection to the right side because that's where the gunner was coming through. And they get over there and they block him, and he gets a 96-yard punt return, and they call it back because they said he called a fair catch. Fair catch is supposed to be over your head, not below your chest. Should we go O-line in the first, CB, or D-line? It really depends on who's there. At 29, if Tavondre Sweat becomes a late first-round defensive tackle and he's there at 29, left guard and cornerback can kick rocks. I'm going defense. I'm going Tavondre Sweat. Now, that being said, if it's Cooper Beebe of Kansas State that falls to 29, that would be a great pick to replace Jonah as left guard. The kid does great in pass protection and is good in the run game. Trice is somebody you could think about at DN out of Washington. But my guy, and that's only if he moves up to be a late day one pick. If he's that borderline first, second rounder, I'm going to Tavondre Sweat. If I was the GM putting the pick in for Detroit.
You'll have to move up in round 2 to get him, honestly.
All right. I think that's what we'll have to do. But Mike Sanders he would be a great late mid to late day 2 pick. I'm not putting him at the top. He has the speed to be a top corner, but he doesn't have the coverage skills of a top corner. Are the Giants drafting a line, wide receiver, or quarterback? I think they're going to make the fatal mistake of 5 years ago. They're going to draft the next Daniel Jones.
According to what Joe Shonin said the other day when he was at the Senior Bowl, Daniel Jones, if healthy, plans to be our starter for next year, but he's not going to rule out taking a quarterback at 6. It's all going to depend who's there. Because nobody had Jaden Daniels in the top 5 even like a month ago. Now he's sitting at potentially going 3 of the Patriots. I don't like Bo Nix.
Better off to trade for Justin Fields than draft him.
You draft Jaden Daniels?
I'll tell you why. Justin Fields has adjusted to the speed of the NFL. Yes, he can't read a defense, but they actually have some good people in the offense that might be able to help him with that.
Yeah, Daniels can read the defense, so that's what I kind of like about that.
Yeah, he can read a defense, but he hasn't adjusted to the speed of the NFL yet. And that's what burns a lot of rookie quarterbacks being drafted into a situation where they have to start. Because Mac Jones, and I've said this the whole time, he was the most NFL ready quarterback coming out of college. But his ceiling was so low and his floor rises at the same time. It reminds me of the Willy Wonka chocolate factory entrance. Now his head and feet are both hitting the floor and ceiling at the same time.
Like, realistically, if you took Mac Jones, you put him on San Francisco, where freaking Kyle Shanahan wanted to draft him, we'd be having a different conversation about him.
Right.
He is a system quarterback that went to the wrong fucking system.
Right. If Mac Jones went to San Francisco, they might have made a Super Bowl. Because
he's the same. Him and Brock Purdy are the same.
They're the exact same rookie numbers. The only thing that was different was San Francisco had a better defense at the time.
Yep.
If you look, Mac Jones' rookie year was a great rookie year for any rookie quarterback coming out of college. He had a great rookie year. Look at Brock Purdy. Finally gets a chance to start. What was it? Week 7? No, week 8. That was when Garoppolo went down. Was week 7, and he went down faster than an OnlyFans girl with a $20 Cash App tag. And Brock Purdy comes in and wins 10 straight.
So anyway, I think the Giants are going to go quarterback, even though they probably should take a freaking offensive lineman. Because, well, if Marvin Harrison Jr. is there, I take Marvin Harrison Jr. over anybody in this entire draft. But he's not going to be. So if you're not taking the offensive lineman, you're going to take that quarterback. Those are the only two positions I see that make sense: a quarterback or the offensive lineman. And pray to God you can sign somebody like T. Higgins in the offseason.
All right. Well, it's that time of day where I have to address the sponsorship. And, Steve, I know you hate it because it's fun. But our favorite sponsor is FTP. No, it's not the florist. What is it, Lenner?
Fuck the Packers and fuck the Packers. And hey JB, what is today?
Friday.
So it's FTP Friday.
Friday. Love you, Steve. Don't get me wrong. I love Steve is real. Yeah. But I don't think we need to get a kicker as early as the third round. I think we can get him day 3, somewhere between rounds 5 and 7. I don't like picking kickers early. I mean, yes. Jake Moody got picked in the third round. But thank you everybody in the chat. But don't forget, if you got to have your windows tinted, please go see my guy, Gloss Negron in Saginaw. This guy's fantastic. Voted number 1 in Saginaw, which means he's number 1 in the Tri-Cities because that's the biggest city of the 3. The Tri-Cities of Michigan is Bay City, Saginaw, and Midland. 989-443-9240. Check him out. Go get your whip taken care of. That way, when that hot summer sun gets onto your seat, you don't have to worry about having your skin stick to it and peel off 8 of the 10 layers you have.
Real quick, kicker. Remember this: Sebastian Janikowski was a first-round pick.
Yeah, there's 2 other ones that I like better than the kid from Yale. The kid from Yale is an 85% kicker under 50 yards. I know who you're talking about. I've done my research. There's 2. He's good, but it's only if these other 2 are gone that I would take him. Because both of them has hit 61-yard longs this year in college. That's Harold Mevis of Missouri, who literally kicked his team to a win because his offense was so bad. And then Josh Cartay of Kansas State. They literally scored 18 points and won a game because their kicker hit a 61-yarder for clutch. If that isn't clutch, then clutch doesn't exist. But both of those kickers, Josh Cartay of Kansas State and Harold Mevis of Missouri, are over 90% under 50 yards. So that, to me, that means a lot more to me, because then you got consistency for under the 50-yard field goals and also some consistency when they're over 60% over. Jeremy went to Ivy League schools and got 7 degrees from them schools. No, I didn't get any degrees. I actually didn't even go to college. No, Cartay is whom I meant. I thought he was from Yale. Nope. I thought Cartay. Yep. I've been hearing about him from Kansas State. I think maybe he was a transfer or something. Let me look it up. Gosh.
It involves Kansas, just message Cook. He'll tell you everything. He'll tell you which size freaking shoe he wears.
Oh, no, he's Stanford Cardinal. 85.2 overall. Kicks over 50. 66.7%. Stanford's Pac-12, right?
There's always a great time of the year to talk football. Doesn't matter when it is.
Stanford, Yale, close. Ivy League versus Pac-12. It's not close. That's like saying that picking a quarterback from a basketball school is good in the first round.
Fuck you.
I wasn't even mentioning your quarterback, but since you brought it up, Daniel Jones.
From Duke.
Let's not forget, there's been guys from Connecticut chosen. Wasn't first round, but he still was chosen, and he played for this team that I love here. They're both in Cali, but they're not. One's nowhere near Ivy League. restrictions aren't as high. But it's time for me to get off here because it is almost time for Russell Wayne and Main Event Mike to do their show. I never like to intrude and run over. So therefore, I'm going to say what I always say. Try every day to be a better person than you were the day before. It's the only way to, make the world a better place. It starts within here. Much love to everybody. It's been a great day talking football. Tune in Monday. We'll be back. As soon as the Super Bowl hits, we're going down to 3 days a week during the mornings. It'll be Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays. Just because the news slows down, there's no sense talking every day, and it gives me more chance to do some in-depth research. I'm probably going to do each day we talk a scouting profile for one of the positions of need and go over a position group on who's there in free agency and let everybody vote on who they like to fill our positions from the vets and that pool of scouts that I look at. It's been a great day. Thanks for watching Lions Talk with Smokin, Jeremy B, and Von Doom. Peace, love, and chicken grease.